Welcome to yoga, chair yoga on this Friday afternoon. It's my pleasure to lead you through a full body flow today. So please just remember, if you're new to yoga or if you just need the reminder, that all you really need to do is breathe. So if you're needing a break and you just feel like I'm not really wanting to do this particular pose, it's okay to sit back and take a few breaths. The second thing is please listen to your body. Anything that doesn't feel good for you, you can skip it or modify it. So for example, if you have any shoulder issues and you can't reach up all the way, you may just come to here, hands to shoulders, or kind of slightly out to the side. And that's all you really need to do for this class today. All right, so we'll get started by sitting back in the chair. And I don't get too comfortable because we're not going to stay there. But we're going to sit back in the chair and just kind of feel the back supported by the back of the chair. And then just take a moment to let your body settle. Whether it's afternoon or evening your time, maybe you've had a day of activity already. So we're going to, if you want, you can close your eyes and we're just going to scan the body. So just tune into your breath, notice the inhale and the exhale through the nose. And you're welcome to exhale through the mouth if that's better for you. We'll start with just noticing how the feet feel today. So observing, your toes, each toe, the top of your foot and the sole of your foot, and just bring awareness to that. Notice what your feet are telling you today. And we'll send that awareness up through the ankles, the shins, the calves, the knees. Just taking stock. Nothing to fix, just simply aware. And then as you become aware of your thighs and your hips, you can start to notice if anything there is talking to you. Up through the belly, the chest, the shoulders, your whole back, your arms, your hands, your face, your head. And then just noticing mentally what kind of state you feel in today. Are you relaxed? Are you worried about something? And all we're doing is just observing and accepting that this is what it is for now. So we'll take 3 more big, deep breaths. If that feels good for you, simply taking a bigger inhale through the nose. And then slowly letting go of the exhale. And then take 2 more of those. So notice that if your inhale, does it let your chest change shape? Does it let your belly expand? And when you exhale, feel it all soften down. Good. 1 more deep breath. And then just letting go. Good. Gently open the eyes. All right. Since we're sitting back in the chair, this is a really nice place to kind of extend the legs out in front of you with the chair supporting the back of the legs, and then just bringing the ankles so that you point and flex through the feet. And then I always invite people to add the hands if they want to. So we're just moving the hands and the feet. And then making circles. It doesn't matter if you go same direction or opposite direction. So we're just going to go circles in one direction and then the other direction. Good. So just kind of controlling 2 different things happening here, or maybe 4 different things happening here. And then just bending the knees and bringing the arms down. All right. And then inhale, arms come forward, legs extend. Exhale, bring it down. And we'll take 2 more of those. Feel free to go higher if your shoulders allow it. And release back down. Maybe your arms even reach back a little bit here. And then 1 more time, reach up. Good. And then release. Good. And then make fists with your hands. I'm going to draw the shoulders up toward the ear. Gather all that tension. Inhale. Exhale. As if you're pushing that away from you. And take 2 more. Bring it up. Squeezing and exhaling to release. And last one. Inhale. Bring it up. And exhale, release. Nice job. Leaning, bring your chin back. A lot of us tend to bring our head forward, so we're going to bring the chin back so that our ears are over the shoulders, and then lean the right ear toward the right shoulder. So I just want you to feel the left side of the neck. So don't go so far that it feels like a strain. Just want a gentle stretch right there. Good. And then bring the head back up, and then left ear toward left shoulder. And you just go only to the extent that you feel a nice stretch without too much effort. But inhale, bring it back up. So your second option, we're going to keep going with that neck movement. The next option is to take your left hand and hold under the chair or under your thigh, and then let yourself lean to the right, and then let the left shoulder pull down. Good. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and take the chin up and down in that diagonal shape that it's in right now. And maybe you notice one side of your neck is a little different than the other. Mine is always a little bit tricky on the right side. All right, and let's come back up to center and just shrug that left shoulder a few times. Good. And then let's do the other side. So left ear starts to lean toward left shoulder. Option to hold the bottom of your chair with your right hand and begin to lean to the right, left side, drawing the right shoulder down, creating more space along the side of the neck. And then once more, maybe you take a little nod diagonally. That mobility in your neck. And bring the head back up, and then slowly turn your head to the right. Notice your range of motion and center and to the left. And you can mark your range of motion by just noticing how far, what can you see when you turn your head. All right, and then let's come back to center. And now if you're sitting back in your chair, you might want to scoot forward because we want to start to get the spine moving a little here. All right, so then this is my favorite warm up. Legs go a little wider apart, and we just start to sway side to side. Feel free to go as gentle or as strong as you want to go today. So we're just going to do a little sway side to side. Good. All right, and then back and forward. And my hands are on my thighs. That's going to keep my back fully supported for anybody who may have some back issues today. All right, and then let's put those four corners together, moving around in a circle. So swirling around one direction. Good. A few times, and then reverse and go the other direction. Good. All right, come back to center, and let's come back to our neck movement. So now as we bring the chin back again, and then turn the head to the right, notice what you can see there. I'm gonna unplug this, I forgot this was on. Notice your range of motion, come back to center. And let's now take that right shoulder up and back and down. And reaching back with the right hand, now turn to the right and notice if you can actually turn your head just a little further than you did before. Good. And then come back to center. We're going to do that, a different variation. So same side, left hand goes to the right leg, right arm comes up and back and down. Let your spine begin to rotate to the right. And now look over your right shoulder. And if you actually take your eyeballs and look to the right, how far can you see to the right or behind you? Good. And then unwind that, come back to center. Notice we've done just the one side. We're going to let the right shoulder roll around a few times. Good. And then just let that relax. And let's continue with our twist to the left. So turn your head to the left. Again, marking where you can see what you see. I'm looking kind of at the corner of my room here, and then back to center. And now as we lift the left shoulder up and back and down and reach back with the left arm, and now rotate, notice now, did that change your range of motion or not? Maybe it didn't, it's okay. All right, and then we'll come back to center, and then we'll add one more. Right hand goes to the left leg. Keep the spine long as you rotate your body to the left, turn your head to the left, turn your eyeballs to the left, and then observe there. Now, how far can you see? I can actually see this little spot here and part of this tree behind me. Good, and then unwind, come back to center. Whoa. Once we get into some twists, it's always good to come to something that's more symmetrical. So for me, that's reaching up. If you don't want to reach your arms up, you're just going to lengthen your spine as much as possible, okay? And we just get a little longer on the right side and then the left side. And then don't forget to breathe. Going to take a big inhale, reach as far as you can go. And a big exhale with a sigh. Let go. Good. And then just letting the shoulders rest. And I forgot to shake out this left shoulder a little bit. All right. Now, yay. Good job. So we've gone through the neck. Actually, we have one more neck thing to do. And that's going to be drawing a circle. So we're drawing the letter O with the nose going around. And you can make it small or big. You can go slower or faster. After a few times, reverse, go the other way. Good. Bring your head back to neutral. Good. Deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh. Good. All right, let's keep going with the spine. So we'll play around with our side bends. I like to start with hands on shoulders and make sure your spine is long, and then we're just leaning to the right and then coming back to center and then to the left. So you may notice that one side it lengthens and the other side contracts. And then if you want more, the elbow lifts up on one side and then the other. And then the final variation would be to take that arm and reach up and over. It just depends on if your shoulders are up for that today, and then the other way. Good. And then bring it down and relax the shoulders. Shrug them out if that feels good. Nice job. All right. Continuing with the legs. We're going to take right leg off to the right and then just bring the knee in and out. So I want to find the gentlest way at first, and then we'll progressively choose a little more challenging if you want to. Now, one thing that's kind of fun about this is you can do the hand at the same time as your knee. And imagine that we have a little song going. I do this as a dance to a song. Hi, Lulu. Lulu's here. All right. And then let's play with our brains. Can we do the right leg and the left arm? Does that get weird? And it can be the same direction or opposite directions. So we're just kind of seeing that movement, and let's do both arms and one leg. Good. All right. Nice job. All right. Then we'll bring that right leg back and give it a hug. Just giving it a little squeeze, stretching through the glutes, the low back area. And then release. Good. Switch sides. So left leg moves to the left. You might need to scoot a little bit, and we're just doing knee in and out. I happen to have my heel up, and you can choose that or just keep your foot down, okay? So once again, get the knee going. That means that the hips get in motion, and then we'll let the left hand follow if we want to, left hand, okay? Good. All right, and then for a little opposite movement, right hand, left leg. Right hand, left leg. Ooh, this one's a little awkward on this side. I was okay on the other side, but this side I feel like I'm having a hard time with it. All right, and then both arms. Can we keep that going? So normally I do this as a dance, and it goes to that song, One Love, which is really fun. All right, and let's bring the leg back to center. Good, and left the left leg, bring it up, give it a nice squeeze. You can always hold the shin or the back of the leg, whichever is best for you, okay? And then release down. Good. Take a little wiggle side to side, maybe a little forward bend if that feels good, just halfway down or a third of the way down. Stretching out through the back, maybe shaking at the head. And then slow come back up. I like to take water breaks. This is a really good time for a water break if you want one. Maybe grab your water and take a little sip. Remember to stay hydrated. Not all of you are in Florida, but you know, we need to stay hydrated anyway, right? Florida's, you know, we have to stay hydrated here. Okay, good. And let's continue. Oh, a little side note. This is not a good idea. This is a good idea, okay? So listen to what I say, not what I do. What if I fall? So I'm gonna take my leg out to the side. By the way, that's just a little tip that I learned from Silver Sneakers. All right, so now we're gonna pick up where we left off with the knee to the chest. So we're bringing the right knee up. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see. So we're gonna let the spine round. So we're gonna pull the belly in, bring the shoulders forward and the knees as if you were trying to bring your nose to your knee, but doesn't mean it's gonna reach. So we're curling up here. And then as we come up, we're gonna stretch the leg out in front of us, arms back, chest lifts, look up. So we're arching the back and this is basically like our cat-cow. So as we exhale, we pull it in, curl up into a ball. And as we inhale, we expand and lift. Good, one more time. Exhale, pull it in, using some core muscles there. And inhale, expand. Good, bring your spine to neutral, hands on the left thigh. And then keeping the spine long, we're gonna start to hinge forward. So once again, I'm gonna turn it a little bit just so you can see. We're gonna hinge so that that right leg starts to get a big stretch across the back of the leg. And you can stop halfway, a third of the way. You can also use your right hand to reach down the leg, any amount, okay? Take 3 breaths here. Can you tune into your breath and take a bigger breath in the rib cage? Back ribs reaching back behind you. Exhale, softening, and 2 more breaths. Good, bring both hands to that left thigh, press yourself back up. We'll slide the right leg back in and then come back to center. Good, and let's take that all on the second side. So left knee comes into the chest and we're gonna round, pulling the belly back, shoulders roll forward. We let the nose come toward the knee. And then as we inhale, extend the leg out in front, reach the arms back, chest lifts, look up. It's a lot of cues for one pose. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend. Good, one more time. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend. Spine comes to neutral, hands are on the right thigh, and then hinging forward, keeping the spine long. You might start to slide your left hand down the leg somewhere. Some people reach their toe, but that's not really a goal. And I can tell you that some people reach their toe by doing this, which is not what we want to do. We want to keep the spine long here, okay? So 2 breaths. Pause and breathe. Notice what you feel. Good. And then to come out of the pose, we're pressing the hands into the right thigh, coming back up and sliding the left leg back in. Good. All right, take the legs a little wider. Bring the knees in and out. Charleston pose. Charleston. So we just start to go in and out and in and out. And here's the brain thing. Alternate which hand is on top. And then add palms up, palms down. Just for fun. The other day I played this with an actual Charleston song. It was so fast. I was like, I can't believe people dance that fast then. All right, and then come back to center. Nice job. Place your feet down. All right, so now we're going to move in through the feet. So you can't really see my feet. I didn't position this too well. We're just going to lift the heels and then lift the toes. Good. Let me check something real quick. I'll be right back. All right. And then we're doing lifting the heels and lifting the toes. And then one more time, brain work. Right heel, left toe, left heel, right toe. Good. And we're just alternating as if we were paddling a boat. All right. And anybody who took my class earlier this week knows that we did these already. And then you can add hands doing the same thing. Oops, I already lost it. I don't know. I can't figure it out. All right. And then you can do hands doing something else. We'll see how your brain does. Can you rub your belly and pat your head at the same time? Nope. I can't either. All right. And then just tap out the feet. I know that one's tough, right? Pat your head, rub your belly, or the other way around. All right, and let's shake it up. Let's get a little wild and crazy. Shake it up, shake it down to the side, the other side, and then all the way around. Good. And the other way too. All right. And then just pause. Ah, good. Ah, beautiful. Let's keep going with the shoulders, hands to shoulders. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, elbows forward. Two more. Inhale, expanding the chest. Exhale as we expand the upper back area. And then one more time. Good. Bring it forward, and this time we'll go around in some circles. Good. A few times one direction and then the other. I don't know about you, but my arms get tired after a while, so I've got to let them rest, let them hang down, turn the palms forward, turn the palms back. All the different ways that our shoulders move. Nice job. All right, now I'm going to legs wide again. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of core work and a little bit of balance. Even as we're sitting, we can work on balance. So we're going to let that right arm reach and let our body reach out to the right. Is this balance? Is your weight shifting? Sure it is. If we went too far, you would probably fall out of your chair and then go to the other side. So left arm is reaching out and come back to center. Notice this is legs wide. Let's go back to hip width and then across. And now notice, did this change how far you can reach? And then left. Whoa, I'm about to fall out of my chair. Come back to center. And then the final variation, can you bring your legs together and then reach? And how far can you reach here? Ah, now I'm a little afraid I'm going to fall out of my chair, so I'm going to stop a little shorter. And then the other side. Good. So we're actually using our core, your core muscles to do this work here. Here we were using more of our leg as well as our core. Come back to center. All right, which reminds me, we've got a little core work to do. Take the legs wide again if you'd like. And this time, right arm reaches across the body. It's finding a little twisting through this midsection here. And we're pushing away and then come back. And left arm across the body. And then come back. Good. So one more time, each direction. Pull it back and left. Good. And we're going to add a rainbow. So right arm reaches across, and then we draw a rainbow like you might be seeing in London, right? If the sun comes out. And then left arm reaches. Of course, it's not daytime there. Yeah. And then rainbow here. All right. Now, one of my students' favorite movement is right arm reaches across, and you've got a big table full of all kinds of junk mail, so you got to clean the table. And then the left arm, and then you clean the table. And you have so much you have to keep going. So you just keep going, keep going. Make sure this feels okay in your back. If you need to stop, stop. Good. We've got one more. Beautiful. And then we'll just come back. Ah, good job. That's a really nice one. And people say, oh, you know, core, you got to do sit-ups and crunches. No, sometimes all we need to do is just reach, and that our core immediately pulls us back into it. Okay. All right. Let's take legs wide. And then we're going to windshield wiper side to side. So we're letting the legs swing, and it's okay if you need to hold on to your chair. And if you're in one of those chairs that have rollers on it, just watch out that it doesn't get out from underneath you, okay? So we're just going side to side. All right, and the next time we go to the right, we're gonna pause there. So you're pausing on the right side. My right foot is planted down, foot on the ground, left leg, the knee is pointing down to the ground, and my toes are tucked. Now, if for some reason your knee and your hip and your feet don't like this move, you are welcome to take your leg off to the side or just sit side saddle and hold onto your chair, okay? So you've got a couple of options here. All right, so now we're finding this lunge where we stretch out the front of our thigh here. It's really the only time that we can sit in a chair and feel this not bent, okay? And we're gonna take left arm forward. And then with an inhale, left arm rises up. And with an exhale, we're going to take that left arm down and back and follow it with your gaze if your neck's okay with that. So we'll take that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down and back. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale, down and back. Good. Bring that forward. And if you feel steady, both arms forward and maybe up. This is our lunge pose. Breathing here. Sometimes people tell me that they want to come up from the chair, but I think we're going to skip that one today. All right, relax the arms. Come back to center. Notice how that felt in your feet or your hips, and feel free to move whatever needs to move. All right, Zoom's sending me a little message. Let me see what it's telling me. All right, so it's telling me that it's going to extend the class, so I'm hoping it's going to extend the class after 1 minute. It's got a new feature on it that you have to tell it when you want it to go beyond a certain time. I don't know why. Zoom is, does whatever it wants to. So we're going to come back to our wide leg and pick a forward bend. So you can be here, halfway, a third of the way. You can bring your forearms down. Feel free to reach down a little further if that feels good for you. I'm going to keep it here because sometimes my low back doesn't like when I go too far. And if you pause here, you can breathe and maybe sway side to side. Shake out the head. All right, and then to come up back up, we're just bringing the hands back to the thighs and pressing up. Good. All right, let's take this over to the left. So as we swing to the left foot plants, the right foot, again, you can have the knee facing down and the toe tucked. Or if you notice that that's not feeling good in your body, you can take it somewhere else. Okay, so choose where you need. And we're finding our lunge pose here. So observe that this is the same as the standing lunge pose, except that we have the chair helping us, all right? So right arm reaches forward. Left hand can hold on to the chair. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm down and back. So we're reaching back behind us and then lifting up. And exhale, down, back, looking with our eyes and our head. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down and back. Good. And then coming straight in front of us, right hand. And only if you feel steady will you do left as well. Maybe arms up. And just a breath here. Good. And then relax the arms. Come back to center. Good. Whew. Moving anything that's ready to move. It can be your feet, your knees, your hips. Take a little rest. Sitting back in your chair. Feel free to grab your water and take a sip. That's what I'm doing today. How's everybody feeling so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Eh. Okay, good, thank you. It's good. All right, so as I said, we're trying to get to the whole body. We're gonna do as much of everything as we can. We just did kind of feet and toes as well as the hips. All right, so now we're gonna move to the optional standing. If you know you're not gonna stand, it's okay to stay seated and do what you can from your chair, okay? If you are ready to stand up, we're just gonna lean and any way you want to, come on up and then walk around so you're behind your chair. You'll want your chair nearby for support, and we will do a little bit of balance work today. So normally you would just be right behind your chair. I'm placing mine off to the side because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, okay? So we start with our good posture. Feet are about hip width apart. You can also go wider. And then we're going to line up the shoulders over the hips and our ears over our shoulders. I always like to start with the hips. Move the hips side to side. Because when we're sitting, we're always bent right here. So we want to get those hips moving. So we're taking them side to side. Now, if you observe and pause on one side, you can even notice how that outer hip feels here. Good. And the same thing on the other. So I can even notice that this side is a little more tender than this side. And that's just the way my body is. We'll come back to center, and this time we're going to go forward. So my hips kind of push forward a little, not a lot, and then hinge back. Spine is long, so push forward, hinge back. So we're hinging just at that hip crease. All right, and then let's put that together. So we're taking it forward, around, back, and side. And just taking 3 circles, one direction, and then switching direction to go the other way. Good. And then if we ever wanted to be a belly dancer, we would make that infinity symbol. You kind of have to bend the knees, and you got to really get your hips and your waist. And we're not all good at that. I'm not really good at it. I'm not good at belly dancing at all, but it's fun. All right, come back to center. Nice job. All right, so now we're back to mountain pose. All right, we're going to add some circles. So your shoulders, if your shoulders don't want to come all the way up, you're coming halfway to here, okay? So it's an inhale halfway and an exhale release. If your shoulders allow you to come up higher, you can bring it up and then bring it down. Good. One more breath. Can you feel the length of your spine as you reach and you exhale as we release down? Nice. All right. So shoulders roll up and back and down. Good. All right. Now, holding on to your chair. And if you're sitting, you can do the same thing. We're bringing the heels up and then bringing the heels down. Keep your whole foot down, but see if you can lift just the toes, okay? And then bring the toes down, lift the heels. And then bring the heels down, lift the toes, spread them if you can, or imagine that you're spreading them. And then one more time, lift up, and then bring the heels down and spread the toes and lift them. All right, so now we have a second option. As we come up, we can bring one arm up and then release. And the second time we can do the other arm and release. And only if you're feeling really, really fancy and adventurous today would you try both. It's a little tricky. I have a hard time doing this one, so I'm not going to do it today. All right, and then release down. Good. All right, take a downward facing dog. So we're going to take some big steps back, bend the knees, reach the hips back. If you're sitting in your chair, you can just take a forward bend. You're stretching through the back of the body, relax your head, wiggle the hips side to side. Good. And then looking forward, we'll slowly walk our way back to our standing position. All right, good. All right, take the feet wider, swing side to side. And let your arms just kind of flap with you. You gotta watch out for your chair if you're near it. You might have to watch out for your spouse too if you have one near you. Okay. All right, come back to center. That's a little spinal movement. That's letting our twists happen naturally. All right, so now we're gonna play with Warrior One. Again, if you're sitting, you're gonna do the upper body part. In Warrior One, we're gonna take right foot forward, left foot back. And notice the right knee is bent. The left foot is at an angle so the foot can be flat. And if you're sitting down, you just take one foot slightly forward of the other, okay? All right, so in Warrior One, we get a big stretch across the back of the leg that's reaching back, okay? All right, so option left arm forward and up, or both if you're feeling steady, okay? So we inhale here, exhale, pull the elbows back, draw the chest forward, look up. Good, inhale, back up. Lean forward, reach back with your arms. Good, take 2 more of those. Inhale, reach up. Open it up. Span the chest, back up again, and then lean forward, arms back. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open, expand, reach back up, and then lean forward. We're going to pause here, draw that belly in. Feel the balance between both feet here. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your hips, straighten the right leg. and then hinge. So we're not going to let the spine round here. I just want to get that big stretch across the back of the right leg, maybe noticing the low back. Good. And then bending the right knee, only if you're standing. We're going to hold the back of the chair and lift the back leg only if you feel steady. If you don't feel steady, keep your toe down, okay? So you can stay here, you can lift. All right, bring the leg down. We're back to standing. Maybe we take a little march or a little shake out, anything you want to do in between. Move the head, whatever you'd like to do. And then I got to remember which side we did. Let's see. So we did left leg forward first, so now we're going to do right leg forward. So right leg forward, left foot back. Is that correct? I hope it is. It's the opposite of whatever we did. Oh, you're right. Okay, so it's left leg forward, right leg back. Thank you. All right. It always helps when somebody can help me remember. All right, so remember, one arm, if you're feeling unsteady, keep one hand on the chair and the other arm raises up. Okay, so you can always do that. The chair is there. That's why we use the chairs. All right, if you want to do both, you can. So we're going inhale, exhale, open, inhale up, and then lean forward, reach back. Good, 2 more. Inhale, come on up. Expand, and up, and lean forward, arms back. Last one, inhale up, expand, up. Reach back and pause here. Again, we're holding because we want the core and our stability to kick in to notice our balance on this pose. Maybe you even feel a little wobbly, and that's kind of normal. We'll bring the hips back, hands back to the hips, straighten the left leg, and then hinge again, just to feel the back of the leg. All right, and then when you're ready, bend that left knee. Hold on to the back of your chair. If you want, you lean forward enough to raise the right leg or just bring your right foot behind you. Okay, so we're taking a breath or two, noticing the balance in this. Bring the foot down, come back to upright. Yay. Whew. I'm getting tired. That's a lot of work. It's Friday and I've been teaching all week, but that's okay. I love to be with you all. All right, swing it out, dance it out, take a down dog or a forward bend, anything you want to in between. We have one more thing we're going to do while we're still standing. And if you're sitting, guess what? You can still do this. And it's still going to help you with your balance, okay? So, option, we're going to move to the right side of the chair so that your left hand has something to hold on to. Or just make sure that your left hand has the wall or a desk or something nearby, okay? All right, so with the balance, we start with noticing our feet and observing the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the heel as 3 points of contact. See if you can feel the weight in all 3 points, okay? All right, so now the second thing is focus. Find a spot to look at that's not moving. So that's probably not going to be me, okay? So shift your weight to your left foot, bend your right knee. We're going to start with just keeping the right toe down. Good. Now, how's your balance here? So you might be wobbly, but maybe you're starting to feel like, oh, this is maybe doable for me. And then if you want to lift the leg, you can. So if you're sitting in your chair, please know that you can shift your weight to your left side and lift your right leg, okay? You're still going to get the benefits of doing this work. So notice right leg up, maybe right arm, maybe left hand, maybe not, okay? So only if you feel steady would you try to bring the left arm up, and I'm not going to do it today. Good. And this is Karate Kid, right? It's pretty much like Karate Kid. All right, so we have that option to kick out the leg and then bring it down. That was kind of tough right here, wasn't it? All right, shake it out, circle it out, whatever you'd like. We have one more side and then we're going to sit. All right. Ooh, I love those circles. Circular energy is kind of really cool for the body. It feels, it feels organic. We'll put it that way. All right, let's switch to the other side. Just making sure you have something for your right hand to hold on to. Okay. So remember, feet first. Feel your feet. All of your foot. See if you can spread your toes out wide. Shift your weight into your right foot. Find your focal point. And then shift your weight into the right foot. Bend the left knee. I'm going to keep my toe down at first. And then just see how this feels. I taking my arm out seems to be like a tightrope, and that kind of is cool. Good. If you decide you want more, lift the leg or not. Maybe left arm. Maybe both arms, maybe not. Good. All right. And then we're just going to kick it out and then release it down. Yay, cool. Now, normally I'm really much stronger on my right. Today was different. I switched, noticed that it was the left. All right, so now we've been standing a while. So take a little wide legs, a little softness in your knees, and we're just gonna take a little half forward bend, hands to thighs, and then just hinging enough. And I'm gonna turn it sideways so you can see I'm not gonna go that far. All I wanna do is stretch out through here. Good. And then bring your hands back up to your hips, come back to upright. Beautiful, heel toe the feet close together. And then have a seat when you're ready. All right, so good time for a water break one more time. I just love, I'm looking out over, and I love being able to see my students. And I like to see all the different colors everybody's wearing, and like you have your houses all nicely decorated. Yeah, a couple of you have my favorite color. It's that bright pink color, you know that. All right, so we got a couple more stretches to do to kind of finish things off today. This one's a new one, so feel free to sit back for this one if you'd like to have a rest. If you've been in any of my classes recently, it's not new to you, but it's not something I've been doing for a long time. This is brain work. I mean, not brain work, eye work, okay? Eyes. So we're just gonna this one's different. So we're gonna use one finger. It doesn't matter which one you choose. It can be any finger, either hand. And we're gonna keep our eyes on the finger. And, you can keep your arm close, I'd say about a hand distance apart. And keep your eyes on the finger and let your head turn to the right, but keep your eyes on the finger. And then come to the center, and you're going to turn your head to the left, but keep your eyes looking at that finger point. And then center. Now look up and keep your eyes on that one spot. And then turn your head down while you continue looking at the space. Good. We're going to go diagonal up to the right, down to the left. Whoops, my eyes moved. It's really tricky. And then up to the left, keeping the eyes on the same spot, and down to the right. It's really strange because our eyes want to follow where our head goes. Relax your hand, close your eyes for a moment. Sometimes this eye work can make your eyes feel a little sore. So you can take a little break by closing your eyes and letting them rest for just a little bit. Gently open the eyes. Good. Let's continue with our stretches today. All right, so we're going to scoot forward in the chair last time. Just enough to get our kind of our seat toward the middle of the chair. And let's move into our right leg lifting, giving it a hug. Let that ankle go in and out. It's going to feel a little awkward, especially on the going out portion. And then once you get it in, you can either bring the right ankle in front of the left ankle, shin, or up to the thigh. Test and see what works on your hip best, okay? All right. I've got a little L shape in my ankle because I like the way that it protects the knee. So you can stay there and just notice that stretch through the right hip. You can also take a little side bend. Left hand holds the chair and right arm reaches over. Good. And then center. And then if you want more, you lean forward. So hands can be on your shins. We can do a little waterfall, arms sweeping over the shin. And let's take 3 rounds of breath here. So you know you have to go to the point that feels sustainable if we're going to be here for a few breaths. Good. And then coming out of the pose, we'll bring our hands back to the thighs. Come on up. Option to now draw the knee up toward the chest. If you've got it crossed at the ankles, your left hand is pulling the knee toward the center. If you've got knee over knee, we're still pulling it toward the center. Stretching through the right hip. And if you feel like it, you can rotate to the right. You're twisting and looking over your right shoulder. 2 more rounds of breath here. And then unwind your twist. Uncross the leg. Stretch the leg out to the right. Good. Right hand's going to hold under the chair. Maybe we take that lean over to the left side. Sorry, right side. Good. And then back to center. Good. Right leg comes back. Good. All right. Let's see if I can remember what we just did. So we can do the other side. All right. Last second side. Left leg. Bring it up. We're going to let it kind of go in and out. This happens mostly from the hip, but you may feel it in the knee too. Okay. And the next time it comes in, choose crossing over, left ankle over right, at the shin, at the ankle, or at the thigh. So we're just setting up the same way we did on the other side. But you might notice one side is very different from the other, so you may need to adjust that. All right, so now we're going to take our stretch over to this direction. Nope, this direction. Right arm down and reaching this way. Good. Don't forget to breathe. It's okay to do hand to shoulder instead. Good. And then come back up. And then hinging forward if that feels good for you. So take a moment, hands on hips or waterfall the arms. And 3 rounds of breath here. This is one of my very favorite poses. It's called pigeon pose, seated pigeon pose. And it's really helpful for a lot of people who have issues with their hips, their low back, and sciatica. And if you don't like it, it's okay if you do something different. Good. After those 3 breaths, we're just going to press the hands into the thighs, come on up. And then the knee's going to come up and in toward the center, whether it's crossed at the ankle or up high. We're going to draw it in, feel the stretch through the side of the hip, lengthen the spine, and then rotate to the left, look over the left shoulder. Got 2 more breaths here. Good. And then unwind your twist, center, stretch out the left leg out to the side. It might shake it out if that feels good. And then we'll use the left hand to hold onto the chair as we reach over to that left side. Good. And then back up. Beautiful. Bring the left leg back in. Shake out both legs. Nice. All right, let's continue with the shoulders. We're getting really close to the end. We're going to reach back, stretching across the chest, and then give ourselves a hug. Choose which arm goes on top and notice which arm goes on top. As we hug, you can do a little rock side to side. Good. Now noticing again which arm is on top, we're going to switch it. So reach back. Stretch your arms back. Notice that range of motion there. And then let's do opposite arm on top as we give ourselves a hug. Good. Those hugs are good. We need hugs all the time. Don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back for showing up today. All right. And then I always make this joke. You can send kisses. Kiss to my arm. Thank you, shoulders. Thank you, arms. Yeah. Reach back one more time. Good. Release the arms. We're going to send a kiss to the right knee and the left knee, the right foot and the left foot. Long distance, you can blow a kiss. All right. All right. So, and then one last shoulder stretch. Now, if you already have shoulders that are not happy, then you may want to skip this one. So sit forward just a little bit and you're just reaching your arms back until you're holding the back of your chair and then letting the shoulders stay back. You can lean forward and bring the chin down. Good. So it's just a nice big chest stretch. Again, if you have an injury, this may not feel that great for you. And then come back up. Nice job. All right, so we'll sit back in the chair again one more time. And this time we're going to stay here and just relax, but let's do a little bit of stuff for the hands first. So spread your fingers wide and make a fist and spread and fist, spread, fist and circle the wrists. Take that in a range of motion that feels comfortable for you. And then go the other direction. Good. All right, and then we're going to spread out the fingers. Take the right hand forward. And I'm going to get a little closer because I want you to be able to see what I'm talking about. So right hand forward, and then the left hand, you draw one finger back at a time. Stretching through the finger. You may feel this in your wrist as well. Right? And then left hand holds the right thumb and does a little like length and twist. Length and twist. Good. All right, and then right hand down, press the top of the hand. Nice stretch through the wrists. Good, shake out the right hand. And let's do the left. So let's start, let's see, what did we do? Oh, like we were saying, stop. And then one finger at a time, pulls back. I know for me, I have a little arthritis in my thumbs, and that's the one place that it's a little more sensitive. So we're holding onto the thumb, making it a little bit longer, and then just shaking it, twisting it. This reminds my brothers when they used to make fun of me when I was a kid. Reminds me of my brothers. All right, and then palm down, press the top of the hand. Good. Just always want to make sure we pay attention to every part of our body and give it love whenever we come into these practices. It's not just about, you know, the legs, the hips. We want every part of the body. And then shake out the left hand. Good. Give yourself a moment to do anything else that you want to do. So if there's one more forward bend or one more twist or one more shake or anything you want to do, this is a good time for that. Sometimes I gotta do just kind of crazy stuff with my back and shoulders, my head. Pay attention to my dog who's over there. And then finally, as you're ready, we're just going to sit back in the chair. And then just feel your feet, and you can let the legs be as wide as they want to be. Let your feet relax, let shoulders relax. If you want to close your eyes, this is a good time for that. And we'll take one more deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh. Softening the body down. And we'll come back to that first body scan that we did. This time, as you notice your feet, ask your toes and your feet to relax and soften toward the ground. Awareness now comes up the shin and the calves into the knees. Relaxing. Observe your thighs, the tops of your thighs and the backs of your thighs, the glutes that you're sitting on. And let that soften into the chair. Move that awareness up the spine to the low back, middle back, and upper back. And let the chair support your back as you release tension. The belly, lower belly, upper belly, chest. All of it softening down. Your breath is going to continue, so you don't really have to pay attention to it right now. Awareness now to your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, wrists, your thumbs and each finger, and the palm of your hand. Each hand coming to a comfortable position. And then we come to the throat. If it feels good, you can swallow and then relax your throat. Finally, we come to the face where we soften at the jaw, your lips and your cheeks, the space between your eyebrows, the corners of your eyes, your forehead, your whole head, your whole body. As we bring the whole body into relaxation, let your mind rest as well. Notice how many times it tries to wander off, and just simply bring it back. I'm going to be quiet for the next few breaths and simply let you enjoy some quiet time. And I'll bring you back when it's time. And then very, very gently, we'll bring our awareness back to the present. Knowing that that time for our nervous system, that we wind down and calm down, is so good for our nervous system. If you're ready to find a little movement, feel free to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Move the ankles around, move the wrists around. You want to turn your head side to side, you can get the neck moving. Just gently, as if we were waking up from a period of rest, we can take a big stretch to welcome the rest of the day. Good, and then release. Beautiful. Slowly open the eyes. Good job, everybody. Take a deep breath through the nose. Let it go with a big sigh. Thank you. Turning your palms up. Think about this energy that you've just gathered or created, and we did together as a group. Let's bring it together in front of the heart and keep it with us the rest of the day. And may you be calm, may you be peaceful, may you be joyful, may you be well. Thank you all. Namaste.